5 easy, simple steps that you can use to connect with and communicate with your spirit guide, your spirit teacher. Your spirit guide has been assigned to you since birth. It's probably been with you since before you were born in multiple lifetimes. You already have a relationship with this being. I'm going to show you how you can become conscious of this connection and how you can use this communication with your spirit guide in order to get better success, happiness, love in your life beyond your wildest dreams. Stay tuned. Hi, this is Michael William Denny of the ThunderWizard.com YouTube channel. So today we're going to be talking about the 5 steps that you can undertake in order to meet with and communicate with your spirit guide or your spirit teacher. Now, this is your spirit teacher, your guide. This is different from your spirit animal. We talked about how to meet with and communicate with your power animal or your spirit animal. This is actually your spirit guide, your spirit teacher. Your spirit animal is a being that is connected to your aura. It's a being that's connected to this physical body that you have. And your spirit animal tells you what your innate gifts are and gives you strength and gives you power and protects you, not only emotionally and psychologically, but physically even. Your spirit guide, on the other hand, has a slightly different function. This is a being that you have probably been working with for multiple lifetimes. It has a direct connection to the ascended masters, and this spirit being channels this information directly to your higher self for the specific purpose of helping you to evolve spiritually. Now, your spirit guide or your spirit teacher is very respectful of your boundaries. This being does not force itself on you. So this is not, if you're getting messages constantly, voices, and you're hearing voices in your head, that is not your spirit guide. Okay? We don't know what that is. That could be mental imbalance. It could be spiritual issues that need to be dealt with. But it's not your spirit guide. Your spirit guide does not do that. So in order to establish a communication with your spirit guide, in order to get your intuition locked into your spirit guide or your spirit teacher, this is something that we can accomplish through what is known as shamanic journeying. So if you're unfamiliar with what shamanic journey is, please go back and watch this video here and watch the videos on shamanic journeying. So I'm going to show you 5 simple steps that you can use in a shamanic journey in order to meet with and communicate with your spirit guide. So let's get right to it. So the first step is the same as in all of the other shamanic journey videos. We want to get a shamanic drum recording. We want one that's going to last about 30 minutes. I've talked about this before, but one of the easiest ways to get this a really good shamanic drumming recording is to go onto YouTube and type in Michael Harner shamanic drumming 30 minutes. Okay, that will get you to some very good drumming that you can use, but you know, there are all kinds of places you can get it. Step 2. As you begin your shamanic journey, what I want you to do is I want you to go to your power place. And as we talked about in the video where I showed you how to meet with your power animal, you're going to go to that same place. Now, again, a power place is any place that you can imagine, real or imagined, that gives you a sense of peace and power. Mine is in the mountains up here in the Sierra Nevada that I go to. It's one of my favorite places, and I simply, in my mind, I go there. You're going to do something slightly different this time. You're going to go to your place of power, and you're going to imagine that it is nighttime and that the moon is full. So there's going to be this clear sky with a full moon, and all the stars are going to be shining upon you. That's the only thing that I'm going to ask you to do. And there's some reasons for that, which I can get into in some other teachings and some other videos. But the Ascended Masters have a strong connection with the full moon. And the full moon has a strong connection to your fully evolved meditative mind. And this is the mind that you use to connect with. It's not the intellect, it is the meditative mind, the mind that reflects the full light of the soul. Under that healing light of the full moon, in your place of power, you are simply going to send out the request for your spirit guide, your spirit teacher, the ascended master that has been assigned to your spiritual evolution. You are going to send out an invitation for that being to come to you. And just allow that being to appear in front of you in whatever form he or she chooses to do so. That is your spirit guide. Okay? So that is step 2. Step 3. Once your spirit guide, your spirit teacher has manifested in front of you, then you are going to ask this question. You are going to ask your spirit guide, is there anything that you want me to know? Okay? This is important because, a lot of people want to use their spirit guide as some kind of, a Coke machine where I have a question about this and I have a question about that. And, listen, you can do that, but let me just tell you from experience, a real spirit guide is far more interested in giving you information that you need to know. Sometimes there are questions that have to be answered, but for the most part, you do not even know what you don't know. And your spirit guide, your spirit teacher is here to guide you in ways that you haven't even thought of yet. So it's really important to create that kind of relationship with your spirit guide and ask your spirit guide, what is it that you want me to know? Okay? Don't use your spirit guide as some kind of, a vending machine for every silly little idea that comes into your head. Or, how many grains of sand are there on the beach, all that kind of stuff. Listen, maybe you have a spirit guide that'll answer your question, but mine are far more interested in telling me things that I don't know yet that I need to know. And this is, in my experience, the best way to communicate with them. So that's step 3. Ask your spirit guide, what is it that you want me to know? Number 4, when you have gotten the message, I want you to spend some time just allowing your spirit guide, your spirit teacher, to give you a gift of power, whatever that is. It may be an object, it may just be an infusion of energy, I don't know. But whatever it is, you need whatever it is your spirit guide wants to give you. Understand that your spirit guide will never force anything on you. They always work cooperatively with you, meaning that you have to ask. By the way, that's the best way to get anything out of your teachers. This is how I work. Students have to ask me before I give them anything. So that's step number 4. You want to allow your spirit guide to give you an infusion of power or a gift of power in whatever form that is. Okay, step number 5. Allow yourself to come out of the shamanic journey. We talk about exactly how to do that in the first video about shamanic journey. When you have come out of your shamanic trance, I want you to go and write down exactly what happened. Trust me, you will be grateful that you did, because there are details that you will forget. In just 15 minutes you can forget what happens in the spirit realm. So it's very important that you write down exactly what you saw, what you heard, everything that happened. And then you can go back and refer to those things. Whenever you're in doubt, by the way, you can go back. Because whatever it is that your spirit guide gives you the very first time, that is a gift that you can use for the rest of your life. It's going to be the theme that your entire evolution will be built upon. Just to give you an example, whenever I ask questions, almost 99.99% of the time, all of my questions are responded to with this answer. Listen. That's what they keep telling me. Listen. So this has been the focus of my life, learning how to listen to the messages that come through in the subtle realm. So now what I want to do, you have the 5 steps now. Now I want to talk a little bit about getting into the subtlety of shamanic journeying. One of the questions I get asked a lot, which I understand, is how do I know if I'm in an altered state? How do I trust my intuition? So this is a fine line. you do want to have at least one of those experiences in your life where you know that you had an experience, that you were in an altered state of consciousness. However, at the same time, being able to listen is something that requires subtlety and trust. So the most important piece of advice that I can give you is to learn how to trust that the universe is there. Trust your instincts. If you have a very minor, not an intense experience when you go through and you think, I don't know, am I imagining this? Is this just my imagination? That's okay. Just let it be whatever it is. And trust the messages as they come to you. That's why it's important to write them down, because what you're going to do is you're going to allow yourself to have very healthy skepticism about what you just experienced. You're going to allow yourself, if you feel like it, I think that was just my head talking, but whatever, I'm not going to judge it. I'm going to let it happen. And you're going to look to see if any of these things that happened in your vision actually starts having some synchronicity in your life. That's how you know that you're having an experience, that there's some real synchronicity. For me, my experience that really taught me this was I started receiving teachings in my meditations that were very subtle. Nothing huge. I would just be in a meditative state and I would be asking for help. And as I was in my meditations, I would be receiving these meditative practices that I hadn't learned before. And when I asked questions about where they came from, I was given answers that just didn't make any sense to me at all and didn't seem possible until I started doing research in the real world. And I found that I was being told and shown things I could not have possibly known, because I'm going back into historical records 2,000, 3,000 years ago and finding that those things were going on. There was no way I could have intuited that. So I want you to have that same kind of healthy skepticism about your journeying, that whatever is given to you, whatever information is given to you, you want to double check in your waking life to see if there's any synchronicity to it. And then you'll learn how to trust it. So that's the big thing. You've got to trust. You've got to trust the universe. One of the biggest things that will get between you and your ability to have a successful shamanic journey is if you operate from fear or distrust. So if you have a fear of certain kinds of people, if you have a fear of the government, if you have a fear of aliens, if you have, all of these conspiracy theory mindsets, if you operate from that, it's going to be very difficult to have a good shamanic journey, because that ability to trust the universe, that ability to know that all life is connected, that all human beings, that all spiritual beings, that all created life is interconnected, what we call the web of weird. You have to trust that the energy behind that is a friendly energy that is here to empower you. If you have too much fear, then you run the risk of either not being able to go into a spiritual state, a shamanic state of awareness, and you also run the risk of having these really intense visions of demons and blah 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 and all these horrible things. Those are the two pitfalls about this. You want the middle path of trust and subtlety. And you know that you're having a connection to a spirit guide because whatever is good is given to you is something that, if you follow through with it, will make you feel better, will make you feel safer, and will make you feel more connected to all beings and all people. That is the fundamental truth about the universe, that we are all connected. So that's it for now, my friends. I still think that if you want to, you can support this channel. So if you don't see the thing above, scroll below where it says support the channel. I don't know if if YouTube is going to discontinue the monetary support system or not. So if you want to monetarily support this channel, now's the time to do it. Also, I want to invite you to check out my Master Shamanism class. And if you want to see that, go and follow the link here below, which will take you directly to my Master Shamanism page. It's patreon.com/thunderwizard. And on this page, I give people multiple subscription options. And starting at the second subscription level, you can get 1 hour master shamanism classes tailored in progression. Right now, we are learning how to build and create what I call a thunder wheel. Some people call it a medicine wheel, a sun wheel. It doesn't matter. But what this is that this is a gateway to the different dimensions of the universe. And I teach you how to connect to all of the 9 worlds of the world tree. And we're going through very specific teachings on how to use this thunder wheel in order to create very powerful rituals for yourself. And at the same time, we're going to be learning how to connect with all of the beings of all the different realms. And then on the very advanced levels, we're going to learn how to use this wheel. It's like a combination lock. And when we learn how to put all of the things in the proper sequence, we can actually unlock the dimensions of the universe and use them to empower ourselves, to empower our community, our loved ones, and our world. So that's it for now, my friends. If you like this channel, please subscribe, like, and share these videos. Go on to Twitter and share the videos. Go on to Facebook and, you know, Snapchat and whatever other multiple billions of ways that people are now using social media. Share these videos with people so that we can get this message of healing and awareness to as many people as possible. So until then, my friends, remember that the elves, the ascended masters, are there waiting to help you. All you have to do is ask for their help. May the gods of our ancestors be with you.